for that one.
Victoria Palace was bulging at the seams. Mighty men of muscle from many countries flexed, tensed and bulged biceps in a bid to become Mr. Universe. They stretched and strained before an appreciative audience and a knowing panel of judges, urging their cultivated curves to snapping point. The choice was an American as amateur Mr. Universe and an Austrian as the professional.
Bulging biceps and washboard stomachs at the Mr. Universe contest today in 1969. We saw the most successful bodybuilder of all time in that clip, the Austrian-born Arnie Schwarzenegger, long before he became a major Hollywood star. For 10 points, how many times did he win the title of Mr. Universe?
I think so, yes.
3?
No, offer it to Stephen Down.
7.
You would be right. It was 7 times, and it is your choice on the wall.
We'll go for top middle, please.
Top middle for 10 points.
The dinosaurs are to be given a better resting place. The biggest problem will be moving the museum's most massive dinosaur, Diplodocus, Dippy to his admirers. He's a plaster cast made from the bones of a dinosaur which roamed the Earth 150 million years ago. Now he's held together with gas piping. And not to be too personal, some of it's gone rusty.
Dinosaurs on the move today in 1978. For 10 points, in the film, one of our dinosaurs is missing. What was hidden in the dinosaur?
A cache of jewellery.
No, offer it to Cassie and Barbara.
A roll of film.
Yes, it was a strip of secret microfilm smuggled out of China, and is your choice on the wall.
Middle right, please.
Middle right for 10 points.
As housewives pass through the checkout, the cashier pushes a light pen along the code bar stamped on the goods. This pen automatically feeds the price into the electronic till, which registers the shopper's bill item by item in the usual way. The code is also translated into information about the commodity, the department it was bought in, and so on, which is fed into a computer.
Barcoding for beginners from today in 1971. For 10 points, which country was the first to introduce barcoding?
America?
It was America. In fact, at the Marsh supermarket in Troy, Ohio, and the first item to go through, wouldn't you know, was a packet of chewing gum. Stephen Darren, your choice.
Middle bottom, please.
Bottom middle for 10 points.
The modern guide has come a long way since 1910, when a party of girls carrying broomsticks turned up uninvited at a scout rally and told a surprised Baden-Powell that they were the Wolf Patrol of the Girl Scouts. "You'd better join in," said BP. And they did, proving to a reluctant male establishment that anything men could do, they could do as well. Or nearly as well.
The pursuit of equality continuing with a report about the guides from today in 1966. For 10 points, girls aged between 8 and 11 years old who enter the guides are known by what name?
Brownies.
Is correct. Cassie and Barbara, your choice.
Top right, please.
Top right for 5 points.
Lisa began sneezing 3 months ago. She lost a stone in weight and at her worst was sneezing every 5 seconds. Now she's back to a welcome from the neighbours, and so far today she sneezed only 3 times. How did the other patients at the clinic treat you? Was something of a joke?
Yes, well, they did. I had to wear this on my nose.
A sort of peg?
That stopped me sneezing.
Lisa, the incredible sneezing girl today in 1982. In the story of Snow White, Sneezy had 6 friends. For 5 points, can you name 3 of them?
Yes, I got Doc, Grumpy, Happy.
Yes, you're there. It's a matter of interest. Do you know the other 3?
Bashful, Sleepy, Dopey.
And Dopey. Well done, you're there. Sorry, can't give you double points on that. I just needed 3. We are left with top left for 5 points for Stephen Darren.
On a physical level, the action of pressing the buttons, if you like, but also on a mental level, trying to control the ball, making decisions, what to go for. It's very, 3 minutes and your game's over, so you've got to get it right, no second chances.
Pinball Wizards talking about the lure of their hobby today in 1984. For 5 points, who played the Pinball Wizard in the film Tommy?
Elton John.
No, offer it to Cassie and Barbara.
Roger Daltrey.
It was Roger Daltrey, yes. So at the end of that round, we have Cassie and Barbara on 75 points, doing jolly well, but Stephen Darren still with a formidable lead with 116. And so we come to our final round, time to beat the clock. 60 seconds of questions about the 14th of September, but only one team member can play. So, Steve, you're in the hot seat. Let's go. 60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1956, Paul Allott is most associated with which sport?
Cricket.
Correct. Author James Fenimore Cooper died today in 1851. Name his most famous fictional hero.
Hawkeye.
Correct. Luigi Cherubini was born today in 1760. With which branch of the arts is he most associated?
Music.
Correct. On the London stage today in 1987, Tom Baker was starring in An Inspector Calls. Who wrote it?
No.
J.B. Priestley. Today in 1980, racing driver Nelson Piquet won the Italian Grand Prix at Imola. What is his nationality?
Brazilian.
Correct. Today in 1968, Shirley Black was in London to collect absentee votes for President Nixon. By what name is she better known?
Shirley Temple.
Is right. Today in 1991, the opera La Bohème was on the London stage. Who composed it?
Verdi.
No. Puccini. Taxi Driver was showing in cinemas today in 1976. Who starred in the title role?
De Niro.
Correct. Today in 1987, Dr. Robert Runcie met the President of the African National Congress in London. Name him.
No.
Oliver Tambo. On TV today in 1980, an adaptation... I'll finish the question. An adaptation of The Mill on the Floss. Who wrote the novel? No. It was George Eliot.
Yes.
Now, Cassie, your target to beat is 176. Let's go. 60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1956, Ray Wilkins is most associated with which sport?
Football.
Correct. Born today in 1910, which British actor played the lead in the film The Cruel Sea?
Spencer Tracy.
No, it was Jack Hawkins. Nicolas Lancret died today in 1743. With which branch of the arts is he most associated?
Painting.
Is right. On the London stage today in 1991, Fiona Shaw was starring as Hedda Gabler. Who wrote the play?
Ibsen.
Correct. On Radio 4 today in 1991, Miriam Margolyes was reading David Copperfield. Who wrote it?
Dickens.
Correct. Today in 1968, Frank Sinatra was on holiday in London. 15 years earlier, he won an Oscar for his role in which film?
From Here to Eternity.
Correct. Today in 1976, the opera Don Giovanni was at London's Colosseum. Who composed it?
Puccini.
No. Mozart. In cinemas today in 1991, which French actor was starring as Cyrano de Bergerac?
Gerard Depardieu.
Correct. Today in 1973, Haile Selassie arrived home following a hijack scare. He was emperor of which country?
Ethiopia.
Correct. On TV today in 1978, who was starring as the $6 Million Man?
Lee Majors.
Correct. Today in 1960... I'll finish the question. Today in 1965, Egypt's president was in Morocco for an Arab summit meeting. Name him?
Sadat.
No, at the time it was Gamal Abdel Nasser. Well, a stirring performance there by Cassie. You were coming very close indeed, weren't you?
Trying.
You and Barbara have ended our contest with 155 points. Very close indeed. In fact, I think closer than at any time during the contest to Steve and Darren, who are our clear winners with 176. And that means, of course, that Steve and Darren become our reigning champions in our Today's the Day Champions League. We'll see you both again next Wednesday when we are next on air. But we have to say goodbye to Cassie and Barbara. You leave with our special consolation prize, Champions League trophies and copies of the new Today's the Day book. And if you'd like to try your luck as a contestant here in the studio, you would be most welcome. We're now looking for contestants for future programmes. So if you're interested and can team up with a relative or friend from a different generation, write giving us your daytime phone number to Today's the Day, Mentorn Films, P.O. Box LB823, London W1A 3AR. Or you can telephone us on the Today's the Day contestant line on 0990 100 700. That's 0990 100 700. And finally, just time to tell you that today's the day in 1973, a bedding company in Gloucester, whose slogan promised nothing but a good night's sleep, had to cancel the night shift at its factory. Apparently, there was so much noise coming from the plant that the neighbours couldn't get a wink of sleep. Well, we're off for a few days, but we're back next Wednesday, as I said, September the 20th. Do hope you can join me then. Good afternoon.
And a reminder of the Today's the Day phone question. Sebastian Coe retired from athletics today in 1989. He won his first Olympic gold medal 9 years earlier, but in which event? A, the 800 metres, B, the 1500 metres, or C, the 5000 metres? Call 0891 33 9900. Lines stay open until midnight.